Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Hunt Club podcast. Today we have a product briefing with Nicole from our product marketing team. Nicole, you want to say hello to the audience?
Yes, hello. Thank you, Zoe, for having me today.
Yeah, of course. And we do this every month. We talk about our most recent product or platform releases. Today we have the release features capabilities from October under release 9.6. So we're going to talk about that. It's pretty short, but pretty influential. So let's get started right away. So the first thing I'm hearing about is this Netskope SASE integration that we have. Nicole, can you tell me more about this?
Yes, so we are introducing Vectra support for Netscope Cloud Tap, which essentially extends Vectra NDR visibility into SASE environments or remote work environments, if you will. We all know that the network has expanded beyond the traditional perimeter-based world where users and applications lived inside the corporate network, but now the workforce is distributed. Your applications are in the cloud, your data is everywhere, which creates a lot of visibility gaps. So what it does essentially is this integration, um, with this integration, Vectra ingest Genevieve traffic from Netscope to apply the same deep threat detection, investigation, and response capabilities to your remote and cloud users as it does on on-premises networks. So this integration was built in partnership with Netscope to provide full north-south visibility into remote worker traffic, that enables our native capabilities with AI, forensics, metadata, etc., for all NDR use cases without adding any changes to the way the user is connecting, essentially. So they just log in the same with Netscope, doesn't change that, and we'll be able to take all that data with us. So again, essentially, we're trying to eliminate visibility gaps specifically created at the network edge where, employees are working from home, from coffee shops, airports, or when your applications may be running in AWS or Azure or other clouds. So you have the same level of coverage as if everyone was sitting down in the office,
Mm.
and correlate all, threat detection for all traffic users, workloads, and devices, to detect and respond to advanced attacker techniques such as C2 activity, data exfiltration, and lateral movement across, again, every user location, whether they are inside or outside your traditional network perimeter.
Yeah, that's really amazing. So, excuse me. So this is actually a great example of our coverage messaging here at Vectra here, where we really want to be able to get, you know, full visibility into the entire modern network. Because the new modern network, the network that we are living in today is completely different. It has those remote workers working at airports and coffee shops. And with this Netscope integration, I can definitely see that it really speaks upon that coverage story, right, Nicole?
Yes, correct. We are essentially, again, expanding our coverage to SASE environments, and applying, all of our capabilities there to stop attackers.
Thanks, Nicole. So Netscope seems like a really, really awesome integration with Vectra. So please, if you have any questions, please reach out to us about that. But we also have another sort of clarity focused enhancement with JAW4T, JAW4TS network detection. So Nicole, can you tell me more about this one?
Yes, for sure. So we are also continuing to expand our suite of JAW4 detections to now include JAW4T and JAW4TS. So as we know, the vast majority of network traffic today is encrypted, which is great for privacy reasons, but it also creates massive blind spots, for threat detection. So attackers know this, and they are increasingly hiding their malicious activities inside these encrypted channels. So with our JAW4T and JAW4TS detections, we are able to provide a new fingerprinting framework, that analyzes encrypted traffic metadata to identify, unique TCP signatures for both clients and servers. So you can think of it as creating a distinctive profile for how different applications and systems communicate without needing to decrypt the actual data itself. So what it does is essentially enabling, more accurate correlations of network sessions and dramatically faster detection of attacker infrastructure that's trying to hide within encrypted traffic. It does this by reducing fingerprint collisions and improving context. So basically, it's just better at differentiating between legitimate network traffic from malicious activity. Um, and so, what this means for SOC teams and security teams is they get clearer, faster insights into potential threats without the complexity and overhead of traffic decryption. So, this helps to increase the overall, um, this decreases the number of false positives to go through. Analysts spend less time analyzing through all the noise, all the alert noise that we hear all about all the time, and more time focusing on real threats and how to address them.
Yeah, so that really speaks upon that clarity, kind of like, pinpointing the actual real threats within that network traffic without the, decryption and everything. And I also want to point out that within some of our investigations, demonstrations too, Jaw 4 TS, or just the Jaw 4, like fingerprinting frameworks in general, are very, very pivotal to understanding um, getting that context behind some threats too. So having this new framework gives even more context for those investigations. So if you want to check out those and see how we utilize this framework specifically, please check out our investigation demo. So yeah, thanks, Nicole.
Righty. So we are going to jump to attack graphs, focus views. So Zoe, if you want to tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So attack graphs, if you aren't familiar with, is how Vectra visualizes the a modern attack. What this attack view is attached to every entity that's been prioritized on the respond module, and what this specific capability, this focus view thing is that it highlights the most critical detections and progression paths. So it takes away the low priority nodes. So things that are kind of like noise that you don't really need to see in the moment. So that analysts can see how the attack unfolded while still being able to see the full view if you want to switch back. It's just a toggle. It's a simple click and you can see all the nodes or less nodes. So this makes really complex investigations. Sometimes these attack graphs get like massive. There's a lot of nodes. This simplifies to what Vectra thinks is the most important in investigating and taking a look at the attack at the moment. This reduces analyst fatigue and accelerates time to insight during incident response. So especially in a situation where you really need to go fast and investigate quickly and then do a response action, this gives you those insights within seconds. So this is really important for situations where there's a lot of information and you need to ingest it really quickly. Yeah, so please check out our attack graphs, our focus. We have a bunch of other capabilities with our attack graphs, but TLDR to all this, we want to make things easier for you and more pointed, more focused so that you can do your job better. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, that definitely helps with like prioritization too,
Oh
visually.
yeah.
It's really important.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we have some architecture and administrative enhancements too. So we have the introduction of the Vectra virtual brain for Nutanix. I'm hearing a lot about this, but Nicole, can you tell us more about this enhancement?
Yes, of course. So with this release, we're also excited to introduce the Vectra Virtual Brain specifically designed for Nutanix environments. So this helps security teams working in virtualized data centers. Essentially, this is an expansion on our existing Nutanix sensor support that we've had for a few years now, but we've added more support for virtual brains as well. So what it does is, in simple terms, our appliances support native Nutanix environments to deliver the exact same advanced network detection and response capabilities that you get from a physical appliance. Um, but it's completely software SaaS based, if you will.
Mm, hmm.
To 10 gigabytes of throughput to help optimize deployment and provide more scalability within your virtualized environment. And what it means, for security teams is This gives them more flexibility to deploy Vectra NDR without the challenges and hassles of adding in physical hardware. So this helps to reduce rack space concerns, procurement delays for physical appliances, and reduces the need for hardware refresh cycles. So again, essentially just improving your security coverage while reducing infrastructure complexity.
Yeah, absolutely. And my understanding of how like our networks are evolving is that we're moving away from not away, but not fully away from hardware, from on-prem, and having this like virtual environment, virtual brain for Nutanix, gives that flexibility for security teams to choose like, hey, why don't we move this to, something that's virtual, something that's more software based instead of, having like a physical box. So I think this is really awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And for another architecture and admin enhancement, we have our enhanced security for HTTPS only access to Vectra UI. So Zoe, if you want to tell us some more about that as well.
Yeah, this is pretty simple. We just want to enhance the way that you access the Vectra UI, the Vectra AI platform, so that it enforces HTTPS only access to that interface, meaning it blocks unsecured HTTPS access like 480 and requires all the UI connections to use the encrypted HTTPS port 443. So what this really does is that we're a security company. We want to make it secure for you to use our interface. So that's why we're moving it to only HTTPS, where it's a little bit more protected. Well, this ensures all users' interaction within the platform are encrypted by default, so that protects credentials, data from potential interception in some way, shape, or form. And this also aligns with modern security best practices too. Like once again, this is a back end, very like, like administrative change, but it is meant to protect you as a customer or a user of Vectra. So yeah, pretty simple.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all we have for October. Please keep an eye out for our November one next month. But if you want a deep dive into the release enhancements that we talked about today, you can check out vector.ai/products/release notes. This is different from our knowledge base article. We've moved our release notes over there to make it a little bit more intuitive, a little bit more interactable, so that's easier for you to digest. So please check that out. But yeah, other than that, any last thoughts, Nicole?
No, thank you for having me, Zoe, again. And of course, always feel free to comment, on our YouTube. If you have any other topics or questions about anything we've covered or in general, we're always happy to help.
Yeah, if you're excited about any of the, enhancements that we talked about today, please leave a comment. We'd love to read them. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, Nicole, and thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.